Every Monday, our friends at Kuby Energy get us, our weeks really started off on the right foot. They get us focused on the positive, the stories that don't always get told in the news headlines. We call it positive reflections. And I want to thank a real talker, Devin Hargraves, for putting this story on our radar. Devin and his wife, Miranda, have been providing shelter. They've been providing hospitality for refugees from Ukraine down in their home city of Lethbridge. And this is such a great story. If you want to see it in its entirety, you can check out Devin's Twitter at Devin Hargraves. He says, my wife Miranda and I are just incredibly grateful to Dr. Chuck and the folks at Clearly Dental in Lethbridge. He says, as well as an incredibly generous anonymous donor who covered some costs. Check this out. This story is very, very cool. John, can you put up that photo for me? This is great. This is Julia. It's one of their new friends. She had braces on, but they were out of their depth, says Devin, in navigating getting the braces removed. It was time for them to come off. And they had to arrange retainers as well. It's the next step in getting your teeth straight, right? So they had to figure out coverage and financial support. It's not cheap. And so people started making phone calls and setting up appointments and driving these new Canadians from Ukraine to their appointments. And so combined family all worked together and essentially came up with a deal. Dr. Chuck was the one that was able to make this happen for them, which is just such a cool move. They said, we can't thank the very kind individual. They don't even know who it is. An anonymous donor contributing all of the necessary funding to make sure that these orthodontic services happen. Devin says, I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor. The cost was not insignificant. Says it's very much appreciated. Says Devin, Lethbridge is a city with open hearts, and I couldn't be more proud to call this place home. These are the small things. I mean, they're not small in the lives of people who need these services, like Julia, who's new to Canada. But the stories that don't always lead the headlines. But they're the stories that remind us that everyday folks are taking big steps to welcome refugees to Canada, to eliminate financial barriers for people who don't have access to things like dental care, who are restoring our faith in humanity or reminding us that good is out there. If you have a positive reflection you'd like to share with us, we welcome your submissions. You can email them to the show. Of course, you can hit us up on social media as well, Instagram or Twitter. Just use the hashtag RealTalkRJ. Positive reflections presented every Monday, or at least the first show of every week, by our friends at Kuby Energy. And you can get your free solar quote today at kubyenergy.ca. Our Real Talk Roundtable on Friday featured 3 Edmonton City councillors and their response to a letter from Alberta's Justice Minister suggesting they're not doing enough to be tough on downtown crime. Coming up tomorrow, we'll get a response from the top. The Mayor of Edmonton, Amarjeet Sohi, will join us. His response to Minister Tyler Shandro calling him out. In the meantime, make it a great Monday, friends. Thank you for joining us for Real Talk. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing our content, leaving a comment on exactly the shows that have resonated with you and letting us know why. It helps fuel our editorial process. It helps us ensure that Real Talk happens every day right here. We'll talk to you tomorrow.